So I'm Andrew Dyson, I'm the Chief Designer from General Motors Europe. We've got an advanced studio there where we design both Saab and Opel products. And what we've done here, we've developed the design for the Saab 94X concept. A new introduction, crossover, very important for the US market. It's a very small design team that we've got, and I've led that team to develop this particular concept.
Excellent. Can you tell us about your own little passions before we start getting into all the details about the 94X and Saab's future design process? I understand that you also own a Saab. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that. I think enthusiasts would be very interested in that.
It's very important for Saab, being a small company, to develop their future product. And I'm a big Saab fan myself. You know, I've got an old 900 Turbo. It was one of the first aero models. And it's a black one, and it's the the iconic colour for that car. I'm very passionate since I've been working for Saab and on Saab concept cars to be inspired by Saab from the past, and a lot of that influence has gone into this car today with some of the main DNA that we've got through Saab.
Excellent. Could you tell us a little bit, beginning with some of the details from the front with the grille and how that's evolving, the actual non-continuous hood line, as well as the brow effect, which is now below the lights, unlike the Turbo X alongside the 94X, and then we'll kind of move on from there.
So we've been developing at Saab the face, and as you can see, we've got the typical element with the front grille and the vanes next to the headlamps. But what we've done on this model is, because it's a crossover vehicle, we've given more vertical height, so we've actually taken the grille up into the hood to create its own central element. This is just a development for this particular Saab 94X concept. Very important for us is to be unique in the details. It's all about the love of details and execution. And what we've done here, we've developed a new material which is really inspired by ice block material. And what that does, we've got a translucent material in the headlights that you can see here. And so rather than using a lot of chrome or black in the headlight, we're using the transparent material. Very much a Saab Q, very much a thing that you're going to see on future Saabs.
Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about how these looks like fog lights and kind of intakes kind of work here?
So we're using LED technology on this vehicle. Here's an example of how we can use LED technology to gain package size. Very small, very compact, very much an understatement. So really a typical Saab element, high quality, high performance, very individualistic, and yet really subdued. So integrated in this whole grille, which actually is going to be an extractor for the brakes. On the 94X concept, we've developed a new wheel for this particular car. It's inspired by Aero X concept, where we had the turbo vanes. What we've done here is we've developed a thicker version that's actually thick in its depth and its width to support the vehicle. Very important for a sports utility or a crossover vehicle is to develop a wheel which has enough strength to carry the body.
Okay. So
the side view of the car, very important, the profile, quite distinctive. I think you'll agree that from every angle, this is a typical Saab. We've got a wraparound windshield appearance that comes from the front through the body side. We've got a tapered roofline profile, which really is reminiscent of Saabs right back to the 60s, where you've got this sort of teardrop appearance. So quite a low roofline coming back here, very much an aero Q of the vehicle. We've also got the wraparound appearance of the windshield, also the graphic of the DLO, or what we call in the design language DLO, which is the window graphic, and how it sweeps up into the C-pillar. Very much reminiscent of old Saabs, even back to the 900 that I own, which is a 1989 model. So we've got very much a Saab DNA Q there. So the side view profile, we've got this teardrop falling off roofline, and what that does for us as a design is it compresses that rear window and it's wrap around. So what we've got is a really wide profile for that rear window, and that's very individual for a sports utility. It really makes the car look planted on the ground, wide and sporty. Very much a driver-inspired, agile car to drive. Also, what helps that is that we've got another Saab Q. You're going to see this on future Saabs. Is a wide band, continuous light element, which is lit during the daytime and at night time. So it's a continuous element that's also inspired by our ice block material. So you've got this translucent green effect inside the element. The rear end of the car, very clean, very much Scandinavian inspired in terms of the form language. The rear trunk opens, and what we're showing in the exhibit today is a purposely designed ski rack. Now, in order to get those skis out of the car, we've got a sliding floor, which I can show you right now. The sliding floor slides out automatically with an integrated ski rack. So we've got 3 pairs of skis integrated in a pop-up carrier. So this is normally hidden inside the floor within the wall thickness, and we just pop it up and we can slot skis into there.
What inspired this design feature?
The designers in the team developing the 94X concept were inspired through a collaboration with Salomon. Saab and Salomon have been working together for some years, and we were inspired by extreme skiers. And what we've come up with is a ski rack to suit their needs. What they like to do is when they're skiing or they hear of great snow, they like to just jump in the car and go really quickly. So they don't really want to be bothered putting the skis on the top of the car in a carrier or a roof box. So what this does, you can just pop this carrier up, put the skis in there, slide the floor forward, and off you go. Total security, with the benefit of actually having the aerodynamic car and less drag with the roof system.
Could you show us how the skis go in and out and how that interoperability works?
So the unique feature about this sliding floor is that it is electrically operated. So it slides forward, and it is always at the same height that you see here. So when you open the hatch, you don't have additional height or drop down, always the same height. We've developed with our small group of designers at Saab, together with Salomon and some of the professional skiers, in this case Kai, is a ski rack that's dedicated to what his needs are as an extreme skier. But this is also something that could benefit a lot of us. The sliding floor helps us access the skis. And once open, a 4 meter, this is a tremendous platform for luggage in general. But in this case, we've got the skis that we can just clip out and remove quite easily, as you can see here. So they pop back in. Not so easy. Putting those in. There we are. Okay, so you can put the skis back in relatively easily and click them into position. Under normal conditions, if we haven't got a ski rack in the car, we can use this for normal loading of groceries. Or if you're going on vacation and you've got luggage which is quite heavy, you can just put it on top of here and slide it forward. Okay, what you see here is the interior of the 94X concept. And what we've tried to do here for the concept is to adopt the design form language that we've developed over at Saab for some time now. We're combining sort of soft shapes and tight shapes, but very organized, very logical placement of all the functions. So we've got very much a driver cockpit oriented. We've got the air vents quite large. We haven't tried to sort of make those smaller for a concept vehicle. We've actually made them quite large, going over the top of the instrument cluster. We've also got this clear zone material inspired by the ice block appearance that we've got on the exterior car with headlamps and tail lights. Very much a Scandinavian cube. And it's something we've really tried to develop a feeling of luxury on the interior without using traditional woods, carbon fiber or body colored elements. We've tried to really use something unique here, and we think we're onto something that's unique, and we want to make sure that that's something part of future Saabs that you see in the future, or with the ice block, the clear zone. Very much fitting in terms of the Saab philosophy that we have less is more, very much a cube which is going to appeal to educated people, the kind of Saab customers we currently have and will continue to have in the future. The clear zone, what it does, it gives us a depth of material where you can actually see a shadow on a lot of these switches in the center. It also integrates the navigation screen, which means there's no gaps around this part. It's all one piece. Very easy to clean and very attractive.
Yeah.
So here you can see a combination of the typical air vents we've got at Saab, very individualistic but very functional, and we've spread those horizontally across the top of the instrument panel. Underneath we've got the clear zone, very much a cue for future Saabs. Very clean, very simplistic. It integrates the navigation screen one piece. As you can see, we've got no grooves or anything here. This is all one piece.
Can you tell us about some of these systems? Will they be kind of continued into a production model potentially?
What we're showing here are systems that are in principle very much what we could do in production on future Saabs. It shows a lot of the logic with the radio and the heater controls combined in the central element here. It shows elements such as the starter button that we've shown here underneath a safety latch that flips up, and then you can start the car. We've also got an electric park brake here and the night panel switch.
Could you tell us why we chose to change the emblem on the steering wheel from the traditional Saab Griffin emblem to the Saab naming title only in lettering? Was there a significant design change for that, and is that something we can expect moving on in the future?
What you can see with the design of the steering wheel is that we've moved graphically, and importantly for the brand is to move to the letters which say Saab with the letters. We've still got the traditional Griffin logo which we're using on the hood of the car, and also very proudly using it there and on the wheel centers. But what we wanted to do on the interior was to really use the nameplate, and that's what we want to do also on the rear of the car, to become recognized most of all by the Saab letters. An important part of Saab is to develop the form language that makes it timeless.